This morning on Eagle Vision News, one of our reporters covers a local event to raise awareness for autism.
And what happened this weekend at Biola's Film Festival.
Plus, we have the latest on artists like Blake Shelton and Katy Perry. All this and more coming up on Eagle Vision News.
Hello and welcome to Eagle Vision News. I'm Josh Klaasen.
I'm Brieana Jordan.
And I'm Elise Kelly. Making headlines this morning, several million unnoticed earthquakes happen each year, but this weekend there were 3 earthquakes that impacted the lives of thousands in Ecuador and Japan. Japan's Kyushu region was hit by twin earthquakes on Thursday and Saturday morning that reached magnitudes of 7.0, while the coast of Ecuador was hit by a 7.8 quake on Saturday evening. They may be similar in magnitude, but the Ecuador earthquake was almost 16 times stronger than the quake in Japan. Over 350 people died and 2,527 people are injured in Ecuador, while the combined earthquakes in Japan totaled 41 deaths and 968 injuries. Ecuador has sent out thousands of soldiers and police officers to the affected areas. They have also built hospitals and set up temporary shelters for people in need. Many are wondering if these 3 earthquakes are related and are linking the disasters to the Ring of Fire, which is a horseshoe-shaped string of volcanoes in the Pacific Ocean. This area is known for its seismic activity, which causes 90% of the world's earthquakes. A UC Berkeley student is demanding an apology from Southwest Airlines after being kicked off of a plane for speaking Arabic. 26-year-old Iraqi refugee Caroldine Makhzoumi was boarded on a Southwest flight from Los Angeles to Oakland when he called his uncle. He told him about a World Affairs Council dinner that he attended the night before. At the end of the call, he said an Arabic phrase that translates to "God willing." The passenger in front of him heard the phrase and told the flight attendant that she overheard potential threatening comments. Makhzoumi was then escorted off the plane and was detained, searched, and interrogated by airport security and the FBI. After this process, the student had to book another flight on a different airline so he could get back home. Makhzoumi told ABC7, "They degraded me as a human and they thought I was a terrorist." After the incident, Southwest Airlines released a statement saying, "We would not remove a passenger from a flight without collaborative decision rooted in established procedures." Southwest neither condones nor tolerates discrimination of any kind. The airline has tried to contact Makhzoumi but has not been able to reach him so far. And in light of Earth Day this week, I went to the Aquarium of the Pacific in Long Beach to talk about ocean pollution. This is what I learned. Plastic, the most common pollutant found in oceans and on our beaches. 100,000 sea mammals are killed by ocean pollution each year. However, plastic is not the only thing killing marine life. Other land-based pollutants include oil, pesticides, and several forms of trash.
It is really impacting the animals that are out there. It is, and there is so much out there now. You know, a lot of people have heard of the garbage patch. Now they're finding that there are others all around the world, and this plastic is simply suspended in ocean water and is sitting there waiting for an animal to eat it, I suppose.
It's common for marine animals to mistake this trash for food. Once they eat it, they feel full and eventually die from starvation.
The plastics that are out in the ocean, which take a really long time to degrade, hundreds of years, not just 100 years, hundreds of years to degrade, have been found in species as small as plankton.
Then, bigger animals eat the plankton in a process called bioaccumulation. The toxin is basically passed along through the food chain.
I've seen weird stuff pulled out of whales, just buckets, and I've seen, plastic bags. Turtles are notorious for eating plastic bags, and the albatross will even feed bits of plastic, colorful plastic, to their chicks. And of course, their chicks won't survive on a diet of plastics.
The Aquarium of the Pacific is one of the largest aquariums in the U.S. and is home to tens of thousands of different animals. They currently have several projects going, including water conservation during the drought and making public aware of ocean pollution. The aquarium not only rescues animals, but they also have several education opportunities to help protect marine life.
Habits, I mean, of course, there's picking up trash, not dropping trash on the ground as well. I think the picking up trash is probably harder for people because people have ownership. You know, I didn't put that there, so it's not mine. I'm not responsible. So it's changing that mindset that we're all responsible. It doesn't matter where it came from or who put it there, that everyone is responsible for the planet. And so that's a big mindset change.
This has been Elise Kelly with the Take You There Project.
This morning, reporter Kiara Bernal is here with a fitness and health update for us. Kiara, what's the latest?
Thanks, Josh. On Wednesday, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced that enough evidence has been collected to confirm that the Zika virus does in fact cause birth defects. Researchers say the virus has proven that infants of pregnant women who have traveled to and been infected by Zika causes microcephaly, a rare condition that normally affects only 6 in 10,000 babies. Although the CDC has uncovered these new findings, researchers still have much work to be done on finding out how Zika contributes to birth defects. And is floating the new yoga? Just Float, which is located in Los Angeles, is the largest float center in the world with their 11 relaxing floating cabins. Founder and serial entrepreneur Jim Hefner wants to make floating not only more commercial, but more accessible, and plans to get 1 million people lifted on the water to experience themselves in a quiet and peaceful state. And next time someone calls you out for being lazy, for taking some downtime, let them know that it is scientifically proven to be good for you. New research shows us 7 key reasons on how downtime has a positive effect on us. A few of these being proven to give us a much greater sense of focus, improving physical health, and also encouraging our creativity.
Making headlines this morning in entertainment, Russell Crowe warns Ryan Gosling about some of the disadvantages of doing his own stunts on his new movie, Nice Guys. Russell Crowe has prided himself on consistently giving it his all throughout his action film career. He's done virtually all of his stunts, but now that he's no longer a spring chicken, the years he spent fighting lions, Roman soldiers, and jumping off high objects have taken a toll on his body. He recently warned Ryan Gosling, his co-star in the new movie Nice Guys, about the potential side effects of going all out on dozens of physically demanding takes in a row. During one of the scenes, Gosling insisted on jumping through a glass window for one of the shots, something that Crowe may have done in his younger days. Both Crowe and the director of the film advised against it, but Gosling did it anyways. I actually did have a conversation with him about it because I feel that it's a little bit of wisdom that should be passed on, said Crowe. The film Nice Guys hits theaters on May 20, so be on the lookout for some of those crazy stunts, and keep in mind that most of them are probably real. Samuel L. Jackson fires back at a fan on Twitter after getting called out for not wanting to take a photo with him. Earlier this weekend, an upset fan took to Twitter and expressed his disappointment with Jackson for his unwillingness to take a picture with him. The radio DJ known as Fitz wrote on Twitter, "That moment when you meet one of your favorite actors and they are a complete D***K 9 exclamation points. What an arrogant punk, right? At Samuel L. Jackson." Jackson saw this and responded, "I refused the photo politely and then you spazzed out. Learn to say please and F***K exclamation point." Later on, Fitz went on a bit of an emotional rant on Facebook saying how sad he was, but how he still loved Samuel L. Jackson for all the incredible roles he's played over the years. Jackson's final remark was, "There's a lot of folks that share your experience with me, and tons of others, just the opposite. Still a fan." Biola held its annual film festival on Friday night. Reporter Peter Rothermel was there and has more on the films and winners.
And the winner of this year's Best Picture Award is...
The focus of this year's Biola Film Festival was mental health awareness. Student filmmakers used both their talent and their time to raise awareness for those who are suffering from mental health issues.
It was something I felt very passionate about, just going through depression myself and just having friends that are doing the same. And it sort of was like that elephant in the room that no one was talking about. At least that's how I felt here at Biola. So it just felt good to write about it, it felt good to discuss it. And films are conversations, so the more you can write about things, you can have conversations and dialogue.
Many of the filmmakers shared similar sentiments. They believed that mental health was a topic that few were talking about on Biola's campus. Aldo Elizalde inspired the night with his movie Garden of Eden, which was about struggling with mental illness.
I think it's a matter of putting themselves into the character's shoes in a very empathetic manner and just understanding what it would be like to reach out to people who deal with this.
Josh Klaasen, who was the host for the night, had a slightly different take on mental health than many of the other attendees.
In order to get anything real done in life, you have to be a little mentally ill. Look at anyone successful, they're all a bit mentally ill.
Student filmmakers are here to walk the red carpet as they prepare to get rewarded at the 2016 Biola Film Festival. The night also had many lighter events celebrating the creativity of the student filmmakers. The film Birthday in a Dark Room took home 8 awards, including Best Actor, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Picture. Josh Klaasen also had a hilarious introduction to the night.
Lisa Swain, what a beauty. If only our age difference were acceptable in this community. I love women who are older than me, and they love me. It's the Manilow influence.
A parody song dedicated to Biola's Zach King, a successful Viner, was also sung.
Against the Vining King, fresh like spring, Ellen's favorite thing.
This is Peter Rothermel reporting for Eagle Vision News.
Reporter and producer Daisy Villanueva is in the studio this morning with even more happening in entertainment. Daisy, I heard Blake Shelton is making headlines.
He is, and there is also a lot happening in the world of Christian entertainment, from breakups to new albums and even some legal battles. Country sensation Blake Shelton says he is taking a break from mainstream country music and is instead focusing on gospel songs in his new upcoming album, If I'm Honest. One of the hit singles released from his album is Savior's Shadow, and in this song, Blake opens up about the struggles he faces in his faith. He wrote, "Though the devil try to break me, my sweet Jesus won't forsake me." Shelton says this album will take a direct look into his personal life. The album is set to release on May 20th. And Duck Dynasty star Sadie Robertson has broken up with her longtime boyfriend, Blake Coward. The 18-year-old star says the couple broke up because she wants to spend more time focusing on her career. Since her debut on her family's reality TV show, she has appeared on shows like Dancing with the Stars and starred in the movie God's Not Dead 2 this year. And it has been over a year since pop star Katy Perry has been in a legal battle over a church property in the city of Los Feliz. Katy originally bought the historic Catholic convent for $14 million off of the archbishop, but things got complicated after the nuns living in the convent fought the decision, arguing they have the rights to sell the property and not him. This week, the court finalized the deal between Katy and the archbishop and confirmed the property will be sold to her. The sisters are still trying to fight the decision and are taking the case all the way to the Vatican to have it reviewed by the Pope, hoping to get an appeal.
Thank you, Daisy.
You're welcome, guys.
Well, there's always quite a bit of buzz with internet news. Brieana Jordan has the latest with too much internet.
Don't you guys hate it when people talk, yell at the screen, and even worse, text while watching a movie in a theater? Well, texting could soon be allowed at AMC theaters. In an effort to appeal to millennials, the CEO of AMC, Adam Aron, says that when you tell a 22-year-old to turn off their cell phone, it's like telling them to cut off their left arm above the elbow. Ways that AMC could do this is by designating a section or entire auditoriums to those wanting to text. Twitter users lashed out immediately, saying it was a horrible idea, and Aaron heard them loud and clear. He shortly released a statement saying there will not be a change to the no cell phone policy at AMC theaters. Last week was Kobe Bryant's final game in the NBA wearing purple and gold for the Lakers. This game was a memorable one because not only did the Lakers win against the Utah Jazz, but Kobe scored a total of 60 points during the game. But even more amazing, you can buy his air from his final game. If this really is air from his final career game, someone was smart enough to collect some and put it up for sale on eBay. The bag of air started with a bid of $1 and reached all the way to $15,000. Perhaps tragic to some, eBay has since taken down the auction for the item. Well, that sucks for whoever had an extra $15,000 to spend on air by a sports legend. And finally, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard filmed an apology video to Australia for smuggling their dogs into the country. It's a bit painfully awkward to watch because Depp's face reads something like, "Do I have to?" Take a look.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared. Protecting Australia is important.
Declare everything when you enter Australia. Thanks.
The video was posted on the Facebook of Australia's Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce and has more than 1 million views. I guess you have to check in with Australia's Department of Agriculture and Water Resources when you want to take 2 cute, fluffy doggies there. This has been Too Much Internet. See you next week.
Now, reporter Wayne Stevenson is in the studio with this week's weather forecast. Wayne, I hear Houston's going to be a little damp. Tell me about that.
Yeah, the rain started pouring down there now. The commute's really rough for a lot of people. A lot of flooding in the streets. This guy here, he is riding his bike through about couple feet of water, so it has to be a pretty rough commute for him. But out here in LA, it isn't so bad. It was 59 degrees this morning, and eventually it rose up to about 86 degrees today, starting to look like summer weather here. It's going to go back down to 58 tonight, and temperatures in our entire area are also looking pretty well. You look up just a few hours away up in Vegas, it's 90 degrees, so that's our national high. The national low temperature is in Colorado at 38 degrees. Pretty chilly there, still looking a little bit like winter. And up in New York, where the primary was going on, it was 61 degrees for voters who were on their way to go out, who, by the way, ended up selecting Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump for their nominees. So looking at our 7-day forecast here in La Mirada, it's going to be 78 degrees tomorrow, followed by a slight drop in temperature down to 71. And then after that, it looks like it's going to be stable through the rest of the week with 73 degrees, followed by 3 days in a row where it will be 74 degrees. So, you should be able to enjoy the nice, mild weather that we have going on for the rest of this week. Anyways, that's all we have for the weather. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Wayne. Well, that's all we have for you this morning, but be sure to join us next week to find out who takes the trophy home at this year's Mock Rock.
And we will give you ideas for exploring the City of Angels.
In the meantime, you can keep up with us online, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Biola EV, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to see previous shows.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.